Holy crap, this is phenomenal. Hello everybody and welcome to WineText TV. WineText TV brought to you by WineText.com, America's new and best way to buy premium wine at discount prices. We are here for episode number 3, and we are talking Brunello. Episode 3, Brunello di Montalcino, one of Italy's best wines, along with Super Tuscans and Barolos and Amarones, definitely in the top 4, depending on your palate. For many people, number 1. Oftentimes for me, number 1. Though Barolo has captured my attention over the last decade a lot more and probably sneaks ahead of Brunello for me personally. Many people that I know really fancy Brunello over any other type of wine, and we have 4 monster Brunellos here today, many of which are widely available. One of the things I want to do with WineText TV is make sure that they're wines that you can find out and about, and that is a huge focus of mine. I am here again with my best bud, Brandon Warnicki, who will make very limited appearances throughout the episode, but has bought so much Brunello in his 25 years. Brandon loves a good Brunello and a good Chateauneuf de Pape. And so I know this is, and it's also an exciting time to talk about Brunello. Brandon, remind me, Brunello is on a new vintage, that 19?
19, yes.
2019 Brunellos. So right off the bat, for everybody who's serious or wants to collect, if you've had a child or you got married in 2019, and that's a special year for you, going out and finding a very serious case of 2019 Brunello to put in your cellar or wine fridge or basement or garage for 20 plus years is very viable. And that's the one big thing with Brunellos. These are 100% Sangiovese wines. So for everybody who's watching, in America, we name the wines after the grapes, Chardonnay, Merlot, Cabernet. In Europe, we name the wines after where they're from. So these are Brunello, they're from Montalcino, but they are 100% Sangiovese, the grape, which is a phenomenal grape that makes incredible wines in Tuscany predominantly, but can be found throughout the world, has been tried a lot in America, plays a little bit different in California than it does in the old country. And that's what we've got. Brandon, anything to add about the Brunello current market since you're in the trenches? One of the reasons I like you being on the show is I'm not day to day like I used to be with Wine Library when I did Wine Library TV. So I need a little bit of a pulse, a little bit of state of the union. What's going on out there in Brunello land?
Well, I mean, just as you said, 2019 is the vintage that's just starting to hit the market now. And it's a tremendous vintage overall. Great wine to buy, to lay down. 18s, which we're going to taste today. All 4 of these wines today are from the 18 vintage. That vintage overall is a younger drinking vintage, so they're more approachable early on, and they're more likely to be what you find on the market today, although the 19s are starting to hit over the course of the next 30, 60 days.
So really excited about these wines, and we should get right into it. Let's go to one of my all-time favorites. I've been a fan of Caparzo Brunello for many, many years. I bought the 1990 version of this wine. Think about how old I am, Sid. This is the 2018, and I personally, Gary Vaynerchuk, put it in order for the 1990 version of this wine. Caparzo, 90 points Wine Spectator, 92 points Wine Advocate, 94 points Wine Enthusiast, and a $45 to $50 SRP wine. Let me pour you a little bit, Brandon. Might as well get you going. These wines are big, they're powerful, and they're explosive, and they go with all sorts of heavy dishes. But there is elegance to them, more than a Cabernet. And so you can find me occasionally in a fancy restaurant, like a Little Maven, link it up, Little Maven, Flatiron, New York City. Go check it out. VCR group that I'm a part of owns that place. You may find me with a Brunello on the table and a fish dish, which I think is really interesting because I think this is the top that I'll go with heaviness in red wines for fish. In general, everybody out there, again, a big thing about WineText is educating. If you like red wine can go with fish all day long. Beaujolais, Pinot Noir, you can do it. There are no rules. That's the point of WineText TV. Big shout out to Twitch and everybody who's watching on Twitch. You could always watch the taping of WineText TV on twitch.tv/GaryVee or GaryVee.com/Twitch. I'm assuming that we are doing tons of good stuff in post-production on this episode. Let me give this a sniffy sniff. Now, if you're just joining for the first time and never watched 1,000 episodes of Wine Library TV or the first 2 episodes of WineText TV, the sniffy sniff is important. Smelling the wine, especially if it's a premium wine over $20 a bottle, will make your experience with the wine way better. You will get more value out of your wine if you smell it hard. Not that hard, that was for effect and the edit, but full nose in, you get the bouquet, you get, all of a sudden what's happening is as your nose is playing, your sensories work together. You often hear about people who might be losing their hearing, but their eyes are better. Or if, some people who are blind, but their hearing is incredible. Your senses work together when you're a human being. And smelling your wine, especially for the ones out there buying $30, $40, $50 wine, which is money, you're just pouring and popping and drinking and you're not getting the full effect. You're not getting your value. It's like going to the movie theater and not coming in time for the previews. You didn't get your full value, right? You agree, right? Mm-hmm. Nice little hint of raspberry, good little cinnamon stick on the nose, which I like quite a bit. And, a little bit of tar, which I like. A little, those tar bubbles from the asphalt. I don't know if you've ever grown up in a very hot area. And let's give it a whirl. Very solid tannins up front. So for a lot of you, the reason you don't like red wine is because it's bitter. This has this. Like if I was a 1990s beer commercial, I might have some bitter beer face right now because that sourness is coming through. That's heavy sour cherry, nice tannins. The mid palate, which is like kind of the transition from the beginning of what I taste to the last thing I taste, that middle, the mid palate, is solid, but a little underwhelming. And I will say that I do feel a little more hint and a spike of the alcohol than I would have liked on this wine. Sometimes what happens is the flavors of the wine, the fruit flavors, normally, especially with premium wine, will really cover the alcohol. Sometimes I'm quite sensitive to it. I would argue that most wine critics wouldn't be saying like the alcohol here. So I'm sensitive to it, and I know that compared to most people, but I do feel it, so I want to express it. I think this is a solid Brunello. I'm not blown away. I actually am a little bit closer to Wine Spectator, which went 90 points on this versus the 94, 92 of other 2 critics that gave it to him. And I'm gonna stick in that range. I'm gonna go 89 plus on the score. I don't know how you want to post-produce that. 89 plus. 89 plus for this wine. I would pass. I would not buy this wine. This wine would be $45 to $50 for most of you, and I just think you can get a lot of wine that is better, maybe including some of these in that same price range, but it is not bad. And if I was paying 25 bucks for it, I'd be going bananas right now and being excited about it. But price value ratio is a huge key to the wine world, and probably the biggest thing that I want to accomplish with WineText TV. Getting all of you to discover new wines, try different wines. Somebody's gonna try a Brunello after this show that only drinks Cabernet or Pinot Noir at 50 bucks and fall in love with it. That excites me. That's like bringing joy to my face. That's why I'm here. Let's move it. Palazzi 2018 Brunello de Montalcino. 60 to 65 suggested retail, 92 points. James Suckling. Brandon, anything on this one?
So this one, the first one, the Caparzo, you will find in a lot
of stores. The Palazzi is a relatively new estate that is starting to hit the market, so should be a little bit more modern in style. And again,
Great
from
nose.
18 vintage, which should be drinking really well right now.
Yeah, but you know what's funny? I know you're saying that about the 18s, and I just want to make this because I think a lot of broad wine drinkers are watching this, not just hardcore experts. 2019 is massive and can last forever. 2018s, these are big wines. Like, again, drinking easier, but this is hard for a lot of people to drink. Right. Your framework that you're talking is from more of an expert place. Like, day-to-day people, many of which are gonna start watching this show and learning wine. This is like a big wine. This is not like so easy to drink. This is not light. This is not like just super simple. You know what I mean?
100%.
This is not like a $20 Pinot Noir.
100%.
You know? Smoky. I almost get like pork. I almost feel like I'm walking into like Brother Jimmy's, like, you know, like in the city, like just like kind of smokehouse, very smoky, cigar, beautiful like plum flavor on the nose, which I really like. Very exotic, better nose than the Caparzo. Let's give it a whirl. dramatically smoother on the upfront. Silky. I mean, like silky. Like you went to the St. Regis and they gave you silk sheets. Very silky. Also, really strong tannins, but sweet tannins. The bitterness that people taste in red wines, sometimes it's just bitter. And people are like, oh, I don't like red wine, it's sour. And then there's times when it's elegant and sweet. And then you get a little bit of that sweet and sour thing, which has become a huge thing. Like people love sweet and sour candies and stuff of that nature. And so this wine really comes across nice, very elegant, 92 point suckling. I'm with him on this. This is a very good wine, well structured, well made. I'm gonna go 92 points as well. I'm with James on this one. 60 to 65 bucks. That's probably its value point. If you can find it cheaper, I would do that if you can. I would mark this one down. It's good. I like this wine. It's really good. I like it. All right, another one of my favorites, Barbi. And like a Barbie, right? Like Barbie's been killing it in the theater. Let's see if it's killing it in Brunello. 93 points wine, Spectator 93 points wine, Advocate 92 points, Vinitz 70 to 80 SRP. Again, I'm giving you the suggested retail here. Most of these wines are available 20 to 30% less than a suggested retail. Discounters, winelibrary.com, big shout out to Dad. Even places that are really expensive like wine.com are probably slightly below the SRP. Yes, that was a dig. Do not buy your wine at wine.com. Though I think they run a great business, I just think they're overpriced. But that's me. Anyway, Barbi 2018 Brunello. These are all 18s. I love that. Any thoughts on Barbi? Fattoria di Barbi, it's a classic Brunello, Brandon.
I just remember starting. When I started in 2000 on the floor at Wine Library,
It was all 99 Brunello, or 97 Brunello.
97
97
Brunello.
was such a hot
Brunello.
vintage.
Super hot.
And I remember this wine. Like, I remember Barbi as one of the classics, and Barbi, and Caparzo for that matter. But those wines were so hot. We had 97, 99, 2001, remember?
All
again,
massive
huge.
vintages.
So these wines just bring me back to like my very early days at Wine Library.
On the sniffy sniff, the wine is loaded with, also has a little bit of a cinnamon stick. There's some raspberry, a little bit more like the Caparzo nose, classic, solid. I would elevate it slightly above the Caparzo. Did I give you this too?
no, yeah.
It's a little bit more aromatically exciting. Again, the Sangiovese grape is so dynamic, really exciting when it blends with Cabernet and Merlot. This is why we have Super Tuscans. We will have a show on that. But Tuscany, where this wine comes from, is one of the beautiful, most amazing places. I'm sure many of you have heard, like, I want to go to Tuscany for my honeymoon. Like, it's beautiful, and they make beautiful wines, and I'm excited about trying this Barbi. Look, people talk about being a Barbie girl, but I'm a Barbie boy on this one. I like this. I'm a Barbie boy on this one. This is well made, well structured, really nice. Again, I'll bring it up again, sour. But again, think sour candies. Think about the things you like that are sweet and sour. It's got that kind of thing going on. There's also, what are those tomatoes? Plum cherry tomatoes? This is got really interesting like cherry tomato flavor on the like back end of the mid palate as it goes into its finish. Crushed up potpourri like rose petals, that sourness that comes along with this, but it's elegant, it's smooth. 93, 93, 92. I'm in the same range. I'm gonna go 91 plus on this wine. There you go, 91 plus. I really like this wine. It's well made. 70, 80 SRP. Looks like Wine Library sells it for about 58, 60. Like, I still think if I'm like recommending a friend, I'd say go find the Palazzi, but this is very well made and wildly more available than Palazzi and on so many more restaurant lists. So I know a lot of you right now have your notes tab out, on your phone, and if you want to add it, it's solid, it's good. Thoughts?
I agree. I thought
So far out of the three, I think the Barbi and then the Palazzi, yes.
Love it. All right, we ended with a big one.
Yeah.
You're being very nice to me. Thank you for bringing this. I'm excited about this. Tell me about this wine.
So Marinetto is one of the hotter, I guess, air quote, new producers. They have that wine, and then they have a higher end wine called Madonna, which sells for $300 to $400 a bottle. So you're talking about beyond the Santi range. These are some of the top wines in all of Montalcino.
Where did Marinetto
right?
come from? Like, this is a new one for me.
Yeah.
You've been hyping the producer to me, so I'm like excited.
So in the mid 2000s, I think, or the late 2000s.
97
really
points wine enthusiast,
yeah.
95 points wine advocate, 95 points Venice, 110 to $120 SRP. For context, Wine Library sells this for $98, and we're a discounter of premium wine. So this is some Muco stuff. I'm excited about this. I'm pretty hyped. Let's give it a very serious snippy sniff. Wow, this has got a great nose. Not even good.
I'm trying to remember the first vintage that was really big, but I think it was in the late 2000s, 2009, 2010.
I was well on my way to many new things at that point. This nose, smell this. This nose is insane. Smell this. This smells like strawberry and creams and like rainbows and stuff. Like this smells amazing. I don't want to, there used to be analogies I could use in Wine Library TV that are less politically correct, but I'm gonna go there. I don't think this is politically incorrect. This just smells like a college dorm room of an attractive woman. Like, that's like the first thing I thought of. Like, it just smells good as soon as you walk in. Like, that's what this is. Wow, this is really aromatically exciting. A little cocoa powder on there as well. Wow, this nose is bananas. Holy crap, this is phenomenal. Whew. This wine is well worth the price admission at $120, SRP, $98 at Wine Library. I'm sure that's the general range. I assume it's pretty hard to find. Or is it out there?
It's kind of out there.
Nice,
so
good.
You should be able to
please,
find it.
again, if you're a baller, shot caller, you should find this wine. This is what $100 wine should taste like. And really, honestly, this if I was blind tasting with Brandon and he poured these wines, this is on a completely different planet than these three wines. Like in a fight, this wine would beat the crap out of these three and you'd be like a viral video on the internet. Like, this wine is so much better, so smooth, so silky, so explosive. Wow, this is impressive. I did not expect it to be this good. A lot of times I think things, I almost think like subconsciously when something's overhyped, I don't like it as much.
Yep.
I think that's in me, but this is phenomenal. This is silky smooth, delicious. Dust, you drink wine?
Today I do.
Yeah, try this. This is like bananas good. Like huge explosive, red fruit, black fruit, strawberries, blackberries, cassis. These.
It definitely doesn't taste like anything I've had before.
Yeah.
Very different.
Yeah, it's really remarkable. I'm joining the party. Let's give it 96 plus points. This is a monster. I tend to not get, I don't like to go to 98, 99, 100 on WineText TV. This is as big as I'm gonna score. As a matter of fact, honestly, I can feel myself underscoring it. Let's go 97 points. 97 points for this remarkable Brunello that blew me away and well worth. And I think $100 is a lot of money to spend on a bottle of wine. But this is that good, and I couldn't recommend it more. That's what we did. 4 Brunellos, pretty good show. Caparzo, but other than that, all three showed, this was remarkable. These two battled, and I think you can find this cheaper, but you can't find it. This one,
Yep.
Let's rank them up. There we go. I'm gonna go like this, because I think it's better. I know you like the Barbi a little bit more, it seemed like. Anyway, nonetheless, that is our Brunello show. We will be back with episode 4 of WineText TV soon. Sign up for WineText.com if you want premium wine at massive discounts, 1 deal a day via text. And finally, in my social media, please ask your wine questions. We will bring 3 of them for the next show and answer them on the show. So ask your questions in my social of this show, because this is on YouTube, Instagram, it's everywhere. Ask your wine questions. We will pick 3 of them and we will answer them live on episode 4. We'll see you next time. And remember, we are drinking bad wine so you don't have to.